Good day, students! I am Mr. Just Vincent Leones, and today we're going to talk about two major topics. First is the basic law in the professionalization of teaching, and second is the code of ethics for professional teachers. First, let's talk about the basic law in the professionalization of teaching. On January 1st, 1977, Presidential Decree 1006 entitled Providing for the Professionalization of Teachers, Regulating Their Practice in the Philippines, otherwise known as the Decree Professionalizing Teaching, was proclaimed. With this presidential proclamation, teaching became professionalized in the Philippines. The president who proclaimed this decree was President Ferdinand Edralin Marcos. Fun fact: before his regime, teaching was not considered as a profession. How did that happen? Where we teachers are the one creating professionals. Because during that time, prior to Marcos regime, we didn't have what we call licensure examination for professional teachers. That is one of the reason or one of the factor that the quality of education in the Philippines was so low. What Marcos did is he proclaimed a law that will make teaching as a profession, which is what we call the PD 1006 or the Presidential Decree 1006. The proclamation of Presidential Decree 1006 was premised on the following. Despite the professionalization of teaching in 1977 by virtue of PD 1006, the quality of education in the country appeared to have not improved. The Congressional Commission of Review and Assess Philippine Education or EDCOM came out with the finding that the quality of Philippine education is declining and that the teachers are the heart of the problem. The EDCOM found, among others, that teachers are poorly trained, there is a low quality of students enrolled in teacher training, and teaching is perceived as poorly esteemed profession. In order to understand the Presidential Decree number 1006 or the Decree Professionalizing Teaching, here are the summary. The Presidential Decree number 1006 was passed on 1976 and was implemented in 1977. The specific date it was implemented was on January 1, 1977. What was the name of their exam during Presidential Decree 1006? So it was called PBET or Professional Board Examination for Teachers. Remember that this exam is the first exam where our teachers are called professionals. What it was called again? PBET. Next is Professional Teacher Certificate. Teachers on the Presidential Decree number 1006 receives a certificate serves as a license. The requirements for passing the Professional Board Examination for Teachers is to acquire 70%. Yes, the passing score of Professional Board Examination for Teacher is 70%. The result of the examination for Professional Board Examination for Teachers will be released in 150 days. So that was the summary of the Presidential Decree number 1006 or the Decree Professionalizing Teaching. Due to the ineffectiveness of Presidential Decree number 1006, Republic Act number 7836 was implemented to strengthen the teacher and to provide high-quality education. So what is RA 7836 or Republic Act number 7836? An act to strengthen the regulation and supervision of the practice of the teacher in the Philippines and prescribing a licensure examination for teachers and for other purposes. Also known as the Philippine Teacher Professionalization Act of 1994. This law is essential in setting the standards for teachers in the Philippines. It ensures that only qualified individuals become professional educators. So, in 1996 onwards, Republic Act 7836 was implemented. If before, in Presidential Decree 1006, their exam was called PBET or Professional Board Examination for Teachers, with the arrival of Republic Act 7836, our exam is now called LET or the Licensure Examination for Teachers. They also have a passing requirements of at least 75%. PBET was 70%, but when it comes to LET or Licensure Examination for Teacher, it is 75%. The exam results during LET will be released within 120 working days. This law plays a crucial role in ensuring that teachers are qualified, competent, and ethical. It protects students from unqualified educators and help maintains the integrity of the teaching profession. In order to understand the Republic Act 7836, here are the articles. And that's the Republic Act 7836. Now, let's find the difference of Presidential Decree 1006 and Republic Act 7836. First, the Presidential Decree 1006 is used for professionalizing teaching, while on the other hand, the Republic Act 7836 is to strengthen the education system in the Philippines. Now, let's proceed to Republic Act 9293. An amending certain section of Republic Act number 7836. Republic Act 9293 was enacted to improve the regulation of the teaching profession in the Philippines. It mainly amends sections of RA 7836 to enhance teacher qualification process and address the demand of qualified educator in the country. Here are the sections of Republic Act 9293. Now, let's talk about the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers. First, let's talk about what is ethics. Derived from the Greek word ethos, which means way of living, ethics is a branch of philosophy that is concerned with human conduct, more specifically, the behavior of individuals in society. Ethics examines the rational justifications, our moral judgment. It studies what is morally right or wrong, just or unjust. Preamble. Teachers are duly licensed professionals who possesses dignity and reputation with high moral values as well as technical and professional competence in the practice of their noble profession, and they strictly adhere to observe and practice this set of ethical and moral principles, standards, and values. Here are the 13 articles in Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers. Article 1. Scopes and Limitation. Article 1, Section 1 states that the Philippine Constitution provides that all educational institutions shall offer quality education for all competent teachers. Article 1, Section 2 states that this code covers all public and private school teachers in all educational institutions at the preschool, primary, elementary, and secondary levels, whether academic, vocational, special, technical, and non-formal. Article 2. The teacher and the state. Article 2, Section 1 states that the schools are the nurseries of the future citizens of the state. Article 2, Section 2 states that Every teacher or school official shall actively help carry out the declared policies of the state and shall take the oath to this effect. Article 2, Section 3 states that in the interest of the state of all the Filipino people, as much as his own, every teacher shall be physically, mentally, and morally fit. Article 2, Section 4 states that every teacher shall possess and actualize a full commitment and devotion to duty. Article 2, Section 5 states that a teacher shall not engage in the promotion of any political, religious, and other partisan interests and shall not directly or indirectly solicit, require, collect, or receive any money or service or other valuable material from any person or entity for such purposes. Article 2, Section 6 states that every teacher shall vote and shall exercise all other constitutional rights and responsibility. Article 2, Section 7 states that a teacher shall not use his position. Article 2, Section 8 states that every teacher shall enjoy academic freedom and shall have privilege of expounding the product of his researches and investigations. Article 3, the teacher in the community consists of 8 sections. Section 1, a teacher is the facilitator of learning and of the development of the youth. Section 2, every teacher shall provide leadership and initiative to actively participate in community movements and moral, social, educational, economic, and civic betterment. Section 3, every teacher shall merit reasonable social recognition. Section 4, every teacher shall live for and with the community. Section 5, every teacher shall help the school keep the people in the community informed about the school works and accomplishments as well as its needs and problems. Section 6, every teacher is intellectual leader in the community. Section 7, every teacher shall maintain harmonious and pleasant personal and official relations with other professionals, with government officials, and with the people, individually or collectively. Section 8, a teacher possesses freedom and attend church and worship as appropriate. Section 4, a teacher and the profession consists of 5 sections. Section 1, every teacher shall actively ensure that teaching is the noblest job or noblest profession. Section 2, every teacher shall uphold the highest possible standard of quality education. Section 3, every teacher shall participate in the continuing professional educational or CPE program of the Professional Regulation Commission. Section 4, every teacher shall help, if duly authorized, to seek support from the school. Section 5, every teacher shall use the teaching profession in a manner that makes it dignified means for earning a decent living. Section 5, the teacher and the profession consists of 7 sections. Section 1, teachers shall at least be imbued with a spirit of professional loyalty, mutual confidence, and faith in one another, self-sacrifice for the common good, and full cooperation with colleagues. Section 2, a teacher is not entitled to claim credit for work not of his own and shall give due credit or for the work of others which he may use. Section 3, before leaving his position, a teacher shall organize for whoever assumes the position such records and other data as are necessary to carry on the work. Section 4, a teacher shall hold and innovate all confidential information concerning associates at the school. Section 5, it shall be the responsibility of every teacher to seek corrective for what may appear to be an unprofessional and unethical conduct of any associates. Section 6. A teacher may submit to the proper authorities any justifiable criticism against an associate, preferably in writing, without violating the right of the individual concerned. Section 7. A teacher may apply for any vacant position for which he is qualified. Article 6. The teacher and higher authorities in the profession consist of 6 sections. Section 1. Every teacher shall make it his duty to make an honest effort to understand and support the legitimate policies of the school. Section 2. A teacher shall not make any false accusation or charges against superiors, especially under anonymity. Section 3. A teacher shall transact all official business. Section 4. Every teacher, individually or as part of a group, has a right to seek redress against injustice to the administrations and to extent possible shall raise grievances within acceptable democratic processes. Section 5. Every teacher has a right to invoke the principle that appointments, promotions, and transfer of teachers are made only on the basis of merit and needed in the interest of the service. Section 6. A teacher who accepts a position assumes a contractual obligation to live up to his contract, assuming full knowledge of employment terms and conditions. Section 7. School officials, teachers, and other personnel. It consists of 5 sections. Section 1. All school officials shall at all times show professional courtesy, helpfulness, and sympathy towards teachers and other personnel. Section 2. School officials, teachers, and other school personnel shall consider it their cooperative responsibility to formulate policies or introduce important changes in the system at all levels. Section 3. School officials shall encourage and attend the professional growth of all teachers. Section 4. No school officials dismiss or recommend for dismissal a teacher or a subordinate except Section 5. School authorities concerned shall ensure that public school teachers are employed in accordance with pertinent civil service rules, and private school teachers are issued contracts. Section 8. The teacher and the learners consists of 9 sections. Section 1. A teacher has a right and duty to determine the academic marks and the promotion of learners in the subject or grades he handles. Section 2. A teacher shall recognize that the interests and welfare of learners are of first and foremost concern. Section 3. Under no circumstances shall a teacher be prejudiced or discriminate against a learner. Section 4. A teacher shall not accept favors or gifts from learners, their parents, and others in their behalf. Section 5. A teacher shall not accept, directly or indirectly, any remuneration from tutorials other what is authorized for such service. Section 6. A teacher shall base the evaluation of the learner's work only in merit and quality of academic performance. Section 7. In a situation where mutual attraction and subsequent love develop between teacher and learner, the teacher shall exercise utmost professional discretion to avoid scandal, gossip, and preferential treatment of the learners. Section 8. A teacher shall not inflict corporal punishment on offending learners. Section 9. A teacher shall ensure that conditions contribute to the maximum development of learners. Article 9. The teacher and parents consists of 3 sections. Section 1.
every teacher shall establish and maintain cordial relations. Section 2. Every teacher shall inform parents through proper authorities of the progress and deficiencies of learners. Section 3. A teacher shall hear parents' complaints with sympathy and understanding and shall discourage unfair criticism. Next, Article 10. The teacher and business consists of 3 sections. Section 1. A teacher has the right to engage directly or indirectly in legitimate income generation, provided that it does not relate or adversely affect his work as a teacher. Section 2. A teacher shall maintain a good reputation with respect to the financial matters, such as in the settlement of his debts and loans, in arranging satisfactorily his private financial affairs. Section 3. No teacher shall act directly or indirectly as agent of or be financially interested in any commercial ventures which furnish textbooks and other school commodities, if the purchase and disposal of which he exercised official influence. Article 11. The teacher as a person, which consists of 4 articles. Article 1. A teacher is above all a human being endowed with life, for which is the highest obligation to live with dignity. Section 2. A teacher shall place premium upon self-discipline as a primarily principles of personal behavior in all relationship with others in all situations. Section 3. A teacher shall maintain at all times a dignified personality. Section 4. A teacher shall always recognize the Almighty God. Article 12. Disciplinary actions has 1 section. This section contains any violation of any provision of this code shall be sufficient ground for the imposition against the erring teacher of the disciplinary action, consisting of revocation of his certification of registration and license as a professional teacher, suspension from the practice of teaching profession, or reprimand or cancellation of his temporary or special permit under causes specified in Section 23, Article 3 of Republic Act 7836 and under the Rule 31, Article 8 of the Rules and Regulation implementing Republic Act 7836. Article 13, Effectivity. The last article contains 1 section. This section contains these codes shall take effect upon approval by the Professional Regulation Commission and after 60 days following its publication in the Official Gazette or any newspapers of general circulations, whichever is earlier. Every profession has ethical guidelines, and teaching is no exceptions. The Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers sets the standards for teachers' responsibilities, actions, and behaviors. Why is the Code of Ethics for Professional Teacher important? The Code of Ethics for Professional Teacher is essential in ensuring that teachers uphold high moral and professional standards. It serves as a guide for teachers to perform their duty with integrity, responsibility, and fairness. The Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers is important because it guides teachers in maintaining professionalism, protecting students, and upholding the dignity of the teaching profession. It ensures that teachers serve as ethical models and contribute to a positive and trustworthy education system.
I hope this video presentation helps you understand the basic law of professionalization of teaching and the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers. That's all for this video. Bye!